is a basic stock analysis of a firm. Disclaimer, this is just for a school project. Don't use this as financial advice. All right, so what is a firm? Well, it was founded in 2012 by the co-founders of PayPal, and it went public in 2021. So basically, all it does is buy now, pay later, and basically you can purchase the stuff, but then you can pay in installments, and they earn money because in each of the installments it adds up to be more than what you actually pay. So you actually pay money through the installments because they basically like lend you the money till then. It has nearly 20 million users, and Affirm has also branched out to including a savings account and a card, which is basically like a debit card, which you can also use just for paying in installments, or you can just use a debit card. But it's yet to become profitable. All right, for the SWOT analysis, Affirm is technology driven. The whole thing is based on being able to pay, borrow money through your phone, just through an app. They partnership with a lot of large retailers like Shopify, Walmart, and Amazon, and they have growing brand recognition. So, as like a newer company, having 20 million users, and then that number is growing every single year. Some opportunities include increasing the partnerships and more flexible installment plans. Because right now they mostly just have if you're going to pay in a couple weeks or in a couple months. If they made those more flexible, they would entice more people to use their app. Another thing is global expansion, because right now they really only focus in the US. Some of the weaknesses are the lack of profitability, and they haven't been profitable in any of the years that they've opened yet. So they're still burning through money and trying to market and get more people to use their product, which is high marketing costs. And they also, well, this goes for any company, but with economic downturns, if nobody has the money or doesn't think that they're going to pay the money back to buy, I don't know, some like, I don't know, a gift or just some specialty item, they're not going to, um, even if you lend them money and ask them to pay them back later, they're still not going to have the money, so they're not going to use your app. Some threats include intense competition. You might know Klarna or some other like Apple Pay and the more traditional one, just like a credit card. Um, those are still the more traditional routes and more popular routes. There's a lot of regulatory risks. They've had a couple lawsuits about how because they're a technology company and you have all their credit card, home information, um, basically like infringing on people's personal data. They've had a couple lawsuits about that, and they also have reputation risks where this is like with any technology, it's a relatively new thing where you can buy now, pay later, and they have to make sure that they keep their end of the promise with no interest rates and no just nothing that pops up all of a sudden. The stock performance is it performed not as good as the market and their competitor, Sezzle. So I chose Sezzle because it was, first of all, a public company, and they basically do the same thing with like lending money and then you pay in installments. But I wanted to do Klarna, put Klarna in here, but they are not a public company. So, anyways, the S&P 500, I compared since these are all relatively um, new public companies. I just compare them over 5 years, and S&P 500 grew 90%. Affirm stock price decreased 40%, and Sezzle actually increased 420%. And you can see the reason why is because of their financial health. So, um, Affirm basically has not made their net. They basically haven't had a positive net loss every single year that they've been um, operating, and Sezzle has actually been profitable, although small amounts. But if you look at the revenue growth margin, profit margin, Sezzle's actually profitable compared to Affirm. And the current assets to current liabilities ratio for Sezzle is way lower, um, but Affirm's is actually quite high. And which I don't know why they would have. such a high current ratio because I don't know if they'd have a lot of current assets for a technology phone app company. But basically, a firm has a lot of overhead costs and they have a lot of marketing costs. And the debt to equity ratio for a firm is larger than the debt to equity ratio of Sezzle. The free cash flow for Settle was much lower in 2023, but then it increased back in the couple months of 2024. Return on equity was negative because net income was negative. So for the valuation metrics, I said that right now a firm is overvalued because they haven't earned money yet, and um, the P ratio is actually um, larger negatively than Sezzle. So um, the price to sales ratio is also larger than Sezzle. And although the price to book ratio is lower than Sezzle, they haven't made any money yet, which I guess a lot of people are banking on that a firm is going to become profitable in the near future. But we'll see. And both companies do not give out dividends, and um, basically the PEG and enterprise value are both negative for a firm and positive for Sezzle. So there's just a lot of competition for a firm right now, and they're just yet to become profitable. So in 2020, but even though I say that they're still not a profitable company, um, in fiscal year 2024, they had a 46% growth. So they still are growing in revenue. They just aren't able to make it profitable. Um, so right now, I said that they were overvalued, but obviously I'm just a student, and we shall see in the next 5 years whether or not they become profitable or not.